Debonair. Okay.
What's good, y'all? Shout out to Notification Gang for hitting the like button. And the video didn't start yet. Y'all the realest ones, and I appreciate you anyway. This one is a dark one, y'all. You know, I remember hearing about a story about a young man losing his life to the police. And then the family sued, and allegedly in retaliation, the police deleted his brother and then buried him. The family didn't know about it until 5-6 months later when they found the body. I don't know if, because I haven't seen this video yet, I had somebody send this to me. I don't know if this has any type of connection to it. I'm not even sure if it's in the same state. I just recall something like this happening. So when they sent this to me, it's like, yo, damn, bro, you ain't do a video on da da da. I'm like, what are you talking about? They was telling me about it, was going back and forth. They sent me this video, and I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, bro, what the hell? 200 plus bodies? And you would think it's like, okay, cool. Maybe they didn't have family to claim them. Maybe they didn't know. These are some people that's been missing. People that people been putting reports in saying, hey, listen, I can't find so-and-so. 200 bodies, 200 plus bodies behind a jail cell. It's insanity. Let's get into it, man, because you know I got a lot to say, obviously, but let's go.
An unsettling situation.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Shout out to Isaiah Factor Uncensored. Shout out to them, Fox 26 News. If they have a YouTube channel, I'll make sure to tag their channel, of course, but I just want to give respect where it's due.
Situation in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, to be exact. It's been revealed 215 bodies were buried in unmarked graves behind a state jail in Jackson, of course. Attorney Ben Crump is now calling for an investigation. Families of the dead reportedly had no idea until last month. Some of them, those grave sites were only labeled by a number and a metal rod. Joining us to talk about it, activist Arthur Silky Slim Reed, who also works with Ben Crump. So, Arthur, this started with Dexter Wade's case back in March, right? He was an individual who was hit by a police officer, and his family thought he was simply missing, but he was dead and buried, and no one notified them.
Well, the thing about it is that he had identification on him, Isaiah, and the medical examiner gave it to the lead detective, who said he called, didn't get an answer, and they didn't worry about doing anything else. What we're finding, Isaiah, is that Mississippi is Mississippi. It's an ugly Mississippi. And this is sad because now we have 6 other individuals that has been put into the same grave. And if you look at the video from when we first went to that site, buzzards were flying overhead. And we were trying to figure out, why are the buzzards flying overhead? But it's because they're putting them in shallow graves, and the only thing that they're putting them in is a body bag without embalming the bodies. So the stench from the bodies are drawing buzzards there. It's so inhumane for anybody to do anyone like that, Isaiah, is just horrible is what we can say. And that's not even a word that we should use in a situation like this. It's something that we haven't seen.
Let me tell you something, bro. You know, as far as the Dexter guy, that they were talking about being ran over by the police, honestly, killed by the police. I hope the family sues. It's not going to bring your child back. I get it, but I just hope the family sues. These types of things cannot continue to happen. It cannot keep happening. I don't give a damn if it's black, white, Hispanic, but I don't care. It cannot happen. You cannot sit here and hit someone. Kill them, honestly, but perform a hit and run per se, drag them to the coroner's office, And what did he say? He said, yo, the man had his ID on him. Y'all knew who he was. Y'all know where y'all could have found his family. They didn't want to do that. Why? Because that would be what? Taking accountability. That would be considered taking accountability on their part. One of the things that police always love saying, oh, I'm trying to make a home to see my family. Well, I'm trying to make a home to see my family too. You think it's just you? No, it's not just you. I'm trying to make a home to see my goddamn family too. I'm trying to be safe too. You have all these precautions. You have all these goddamn weapons on your ass. I'm unarmed. All the thing I got is a goddamn cell phone and a wallet and some chapstick. But that's about it. I'm trying to make it home to see my goddamn family too. It ain't just about you. You see these types of situations happen often where hit and runs with the goddamn police. There was police that got, I forgot the state. There was a couple police officers that got fired. Some of them got suspended for throwing food and drinks on people while they were on patrol, harassing them, intimidating them, doing stupid, crazy things. Going through all these months and hours worth of trainings, you have officers that was supposed to pull a gun on a man, shoots him, saying, oh, well, I thought it was a taser. Bro, I've held tasers before and I've held real guns before. The weight difference on both is extreme. You got one that's damn near plastic and you got one that's full metal, steel in some cases. It's a difference. I'm not trying to hear that. But they almost always get away with these types of things. And let me also say this before I keep going. This is nothing new. This has been going on. The only difference between now and 50 years ago is that we have the internet at our disposal. We have the social media apps and all this, that, and the third. The whole world is in our pocket. That's the difference. This isn't the first time a cop did something or a jail cell or a coroner did something like this. There is protocols, even if the man was not able to be identified, there are certain protocols that they have to take. There's certain protocols they have to take. But they chose to ignore all of them. Let's keep going.
And what we're seeing here is over 200 people in this, what they consider a pauper's grave behind the county jail there. And what you guys are learning in your investigation is many of these families were never called, were never notified. Many of them still think their family members or thought their family members were simply missing, but they were dead and buried and never got a call from any investigators, any law enforcement officials or authorities in Jackson, Mississippi.
That's right. And one of the things that we faced being Mississippi is that they thought that we were playing the race card. We have white clients as well. There were white people that were buried the same way, Isaiah. And any human being that's buried the way that they're burying these individuals, it says a lot about the people that's doing this criminal act. And the only thing that we're asking, because people always look at us when we're out fighting for civil rights of individuals, the only thing that we're asking in this case, we want you to do the right thing and give them a humane burial. And the city is, so it's crazy, Isaiah, to see something like that. It's 2023. It's not 1940. But to see them just dumping bodies in a grave like that, and no name, just a number. So they'll say, well, number 13, that's Arthur Reed. Number 21 is Isaiah Carey. But we don't really know until we get the remains. And then the remains had decomposed so bad, we just have to take them at their word. And when you look at the story, they told us that they would exhume this body at 12 noon, but they ended up taking this young man, Dexter Wade, out of the ground at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. They say, we were not going to allow them to embarrass us with those cameras. If you're not embarrassed by what you're doing, it's shame on you.
Absolutely.
Even stuff like that. Further, it's a shame, man. It's honestly, it's a damn shame that these people, families, been looking for them. That these people thinking, oh my God, so-and-so's been missing for X amount of days, X amount of time, months, probably, some probably even years, thinking in the back of their head, yo, maybe this person is still alive. Maybe I will be able to hug them again and tell them, hey, I'm sorry. Tell them I love them. Tell them it's okay. Tell them something. Being ran over by a car, who knows how long these people, some of these people was them alive prior to. Do y'all believe that some of these people could have been or do y'all believe that some of these people that's in that ground it's a possibility that it was murdered by one of those cops, murdered by one of those jailmen or a few of the jailmen, and they did that as a way to try to move on or try to hide as much evidence as possible? Once a body starts decomposing, there's only so much you can do to be able to do as far as like an autopsy, especially if they removed organs. But dude, there's only so much you can do as far as an autopsy to figure out exactly what happened. How did they die? There's only so much you can do. Once they've been buried 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, yeah, you can hang it up. There's not really much we can do. What did he just say? Yo, some of the remains was in underground for so long, they had to take their word for it as far as, okay, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, that's so-and-so. They were supposed to dig the grave up at midday. They started digging the grave up at 6 o'clock in the morning just so they can avoid, quote unquote, the embarrassments of cameras. Yeah, you should be embarrassed. You should be more than embarrassed. You should be spending several decades behind bars, if not the rest of your life, for doing these types of things. Who do y'all people think that y'all, bro, who do y'all think y'all are? It would have been different if it was like 200 plus bodies of people that wasn't identified. And we did our due diligence. We put their face on newspapers, we put their face on on billboards, on goddamn on the news, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. If I was a betting man, I would bet my money on they didn't even do their due diligence as far as finding out who these people family is. You had their identification in most cases. 215 bodies, 215 bodies is unheard of. That's unreal. There's nothing you can say to justify why you buried 215 bodies. I refuse to believe that you did your due diligence to contact over 200 people's family members, relatives, look them up on goddamn Facebook. Hell, you can find out a lot about a person just by their first and last name. And I'm not a cop. I don't have those types of benefits or search engines, I should say, to be able to pinpoint exactly who and where. If you have their ID, y'all don't understand. If you have their ID, all you have to do is go back. Let's say they live in an apartment. You go back to that complex, you talk to the complex manager, show them that ID, have them pull up their reports. Now you're able to find their social security number. You're able to find out where they worked. You're able to find out, go to their job, be able to find out their emergency contact information, find out where they went to school, find out what their emergency contact from the school for the schools. I'm not even a cop, and I can tell y'all what I would do if I was to find something such as that. But let's keep going.
Incredible. Now, you guys, along with Ben Crump and I think Attorney Dennis Week, you all are asking for a federal investigation, that the feds come in and take a look at this and see exactly what's going on, because there's some questions as to Dexter Wade's death when he was hit by the police officer. Whatever happened with the officer in this case? And why wasn't his family ever notified that he was dead and not just a missing person? So bottom line, you want an investigation, right?
We think many civil rights were violated in Dexter Wade's case. Not notifying the family, burying him without permission when you knew who he was. That's the key issue right there. You knew who this individual was. And if you look at the Dexter Wade case, it's sad, but Dexter Wade's uncle was killed by Jackson police, and they knew the family because they was involved in an ongoing lawsuit with that family, with Attorney Sweets, who you're talking about. So this is very, very, very troubling for us for you to know this family already, and for you to do something like this. This was adding insult to already injury that you had done to this family, Isaiah.
Such a shame. Such a shame. You know, and this could have been me, could have been you, could have been my loved ones, could have been your loved ones. The only, I can't even say good side, but the only thing that's somewhat okay is that these family now is finally able to find closure. You know, to an extent, you know, but this is horrible. This is horrible. This is insane. And people wonder why a lot of us is terrified, as far as police interactions, terrified. They wonder why people is terrified with their reactions or interactions, I should say. Because if I'm doing everything right and that cop is doing everything wrong and that cop takes my life, I know for a fact they're going to do the best that they can to dig up dirt against me, to paint me as the goddamn a serial killer for 30 goddamn years, a person that has been, you know, kidnapping and killing and abusing and doing all these other things just to try to get that cop off, even though I was the one in the right, he was the one in the wrong. You see it happen all the time. You see it happen all the time. Look what they did with what's her name? The 7-year-old girl, the Ayanna Taylor. The little girl that's, I think she was 7 or 8 years old, the little girl that got shot under the covers because she was scared. She didn't know what to do. Look at damn Tamir Rice, 11 years old. Oh, we gave him ample opportunities to put the gun down. First of all, the gun was fake. Number one, it's a toy gun. Number one. Number two, y'all never gave him ample opportunity to do anything. Y'all pulled up, hopped out, and started shooting immediately. That little boy had no chance. They do this stuff to kids. Imagine what they do what they do to adults. They do the stuff on body cam. Imagine what they do off body cam. Imagine what they've been doing before the body cameras. The dash cameras and et cetera, et cetera. Imagine. Anyway, I want y'all to comment down below. I'm done. I want y'all to comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought about this video. Thanks for watching. And until next time, please, man, be safe, Erica.